Yona ndakatoita takatosiyana kudhara nenyaya iyoyo potega tangonesana mumba kuti baba vari kuuya vakadai so vakuuya vakadhakwa chichiti hatatosiyana navo zvangu.
In terms of your mental state and the way you think. And now this is where I usually talk about the idea of what starts the drug use or the mental issues. Now, from our research and the work that we do, and when we do assessments, you find majority of the time, a lot of these guys would have been struggling with something before they started drugs. So drugs would then come in as a conduit or as a way of helping them to cope with whatever it is that they were struggling with, to cope with the anxiety that they may have had, the social harm. You may stop actually taking the substance itself, but you may find you're still dishonest, you still are very secretive about things, you still lie about things that you don't necessarily need to lie about. So all those things harm relationships. And this is why, again, when we talk about social reintegration, we want to help those relationships that have been damaged. You'd have damaged relationships with your family, you'd have damaged relationships with friends, you'd have damaged relationships with the community, because they now know you as the drug user or the alcoholic that can't be trusted.
Following the divorce, life was not the same for Madakurwa. He resorted to quenching his sexual desires with sex workers amid the risk associated with the behavior. However, he has vowed that he will not reconcile with the mother of his children.
Aiwa kwedu kune yedu ngoti imomo vanasisi wedu ngoti apa nongoti nyetu apa iwe madhombi nemadhombi ngoti dhombi but akwanisi kuenda zvangu chokwadi chakanaka andinonyepera Mwari
chichiri kutasa kwenu
ndotadza kuenda nje kuti iwo wacho ndakatozonati kuti tizosangana futi hazvichaita nepanisa pekuti iwo patime yatasiyana yangu inguva yareba zvokuti iwo anenge akadai ndopatozopedzisa takuwana kana tachiwana uya yakangoti aiwa
kunanasisi vemadhombidombo hakuna here utachiwana
aiwa kuzvibata zvakanaka ndozvinhu zvinongoita kuzvichengetedza zviprotekta upenyu hwako.
Saka morati munoenda nemaprotekteri
vanenge vanawo
vanasisi vacho
vanenge vanawo handizviiti hangu mazoese hangu asi ndongoti pane ndati paye.
The other very key component with drug users is when you do an emotion test with them, a lot of them struggle to recognize different type of emotions. But there is one emotion they do not make a mistake on, and that's disgust. Okay? They're disgusted by themselves. They've seen disgust on the faces of people they loved and cared about because they saw how that was damaging their lives. And especially when you live with someone who starts to show disgust to you, you get to a point where you feel there is no redemption, regardless of how much you care about that person. When you notice someone being disgusted by you, you kind of realize that, well, there is no hope for me here. So you find a lot of relationships, once there is drug use, and once you separate because of that drug use, it then becomes very difficult for that person, one, to be able to trust you and repair the damage that was caused by your mistrust and the betrayal that you would have gone through with that person. So it then he becomes aware that, you know what, I've caused so much damage. For me to repair that, I don't think it's even possible for this person to even trust me again. So they give up too quickly, even though the person will have enough love for them to overlook all the things that they've gone through.
Ipapo ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.